the 1970s, while most countries were doubling down on fossil fuels, Denmark made an unusual bet. It invested in wind power. At the time, this seemed strange. Remember, this was more than 50 years ago now, so there wasn't nearly the same consciousness around emissions. Oil and gas was still the backbone of the global industry, and renewables were seen as expensive and unreliable. But Denmark stuck with it. Today, that investment has paid off massively. Denmark now produces over 50% of its electricity from wind power alone, far ahead of most other developed nations, which by itself would be a great accomplishment as energy security becomes such a concern. But it also took that knowledge and commercialised it. Again, today it's a global leader in renewables, with companies like Vestas exporting turbines worldwide. It also has some of the lowest CO2 emissions per capita amongst developed nations, showing that economic growth doesn't necessarily have to come at the expense of environmental sustainability. For a small country with limited natural resources, Denmark's economic success is remarkable, but it's not perfect. As a heavily export-dependent economy, it faces rising risks from global trade tensions and shifting tariffs. A slowdown in demand from pharmaceuticals, now one of the most dominant sectors, could ripple across the entire economy. And with global freight rates increasingly volatile, Denmark's shipping industry is exposed to shocks that could hit a high employment industry. So, how does this all hold together, especially with some of the highest tax rates in the world? Why hasn't that scared off business, slowed growth, or crushed its global competitiveness?